Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I want to go over a video on why an EcoBoost might be better than a GT, or 5 reasons why an EcoBoost is better than a GT. And this is my 2020 Ford Mustang GT. This is in rapid red, but I previously had a 2019 Mustang EcoBoost in velocity blue, and we got 2 planes. But today we're just going to go over, but I'm going to take you guys with me on a drive as we go over the 5 reasons about, oh my gosh. So let's go ahead and go for a drive as I go over the 5 reasons why you might want an EcoBoost over a GT. All right guys, let's get going here. Oh my god, I love that sound. Okay, all right guys, so starting off with number 1, it is gas mileage. So this might come as kind of like a cliche, or you know, everyone knows it gets better gas mileage, but the EcoBoost does get a lot better gas mileage. So I've been driving on the break-in period, so I've been driving really soft and smooth, everything like that, and I've only been getting 21.1 mpg. And then on this fuel tank, that's like overall, but on this fuel tank I've been getting 20.6. And I haven't been doing any like hard accelerations or anything like that. And my EcoBoost, when I would do hard accelerations, it would still get usually above 25 or like around 24, and that's with hard accelerations. But if I was driving really smooth and wasn't getting on it too much, it would usually get around like 27. And on the stock tune, mine was tuned, but on the stock tune, if you take like a road trip or something like that, you can get over 30 mpg on the highway, which is really impressive for having over 300 horsepower. And this one so far, like I said, maybe it's because it's breaking in, maybe it's because I have 355 gears, but I haven't been getting so great a fuel economy right now. I'm hoping it gets better in the future, but maybe not, because I'll be past break-in and I'll probably be doing more accelerations. By the way, stay tuned for my 1,000-mile acceleration video. The fuel tank size on the GT is 16 gallons, and the EcoBoost is 15.5, but the EcoBoost still goes way farther on a tank than a GT. And I noticed this immediately because I'm about to do my first fill-up, and I haven't even been driving that much, and I already have to fill it up with gas. So fuel range, you go a lot longer on the EcoBoost. Gas mileage is a lot better. And kind of leading on to that for number 2 is the cost of ownership and just the straight up cost of the car. So an EcoBoost spec'd exactly the same as a GT would run you roughly $10,000 less than a GT would. The straight up cost to buy it is less, and then also the cost to own. So for example, an oil change on a EcoBoost is 6 quarts. So you can calculate however how much 6 quarts cost of oil. GTs take 10 quarts of oil. So you can almost do 2 oil changes on an EcoBoost than it would be to do 1 on a GT, just because a GT takes so much oil. If you've ever seen the engine bay of an EcoBoost, if you guys watch my videos, you've probably seen my engine bay. There's so much room around the engine to work on things. So I'm assuming, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm assuming that labor costs, like if you have to fix something or do like a serpentine belt or something like that, will probably be less money on an EcoBoost than it would on a GT. Another thing, brakes. GTs come with 4 pistons in the front. The EcoBoost comes with 2 piston brakes in the front with smaller rotors. So a brake job will be more expensive on an EcoBoost. Excuse me, a brake job would be more expensive on a GT. And like I mentioned earlier, with the gas cost, everything like that, the fill-ups are going to be cheaper with the EcoBoost, not only because you fill up less, but because you have a little bit of a smaller tank too. Insurance cost, I want to eventually come out the video going over my personal insurance cost, but insurance will most likely be more expensive on a GT. How much so, I don't know yet, so I'll let you guys know, but insurance costs will probably be more expensive on a GT. Coming to number 3 is the low-end torque and the peppiness of the EcoBoost Mustang. So on a stock tune EcoBoost, it gives you so much torque and thrust at like 3,000 RPM. Or if, like, let's say you're accelerating already and you put your foot down a little bit more, it gives you like a whole bunch of boost. Whereas on a GT, if you're accelerating at a normal pace and you put your foot down more, it's not gonna like automatically just take off. You know, it either has to downshift or wait for the RPMs to climb. So if you're driving in like a tight city, let's say you live in San Francisco or something like that, Seattle, you might not be able to fully use the GT's horsepower, because if you're stuck in traffic, if you have small roads, winding roads, you're not going to have enough room to really ring out and experience the power of the GT. You might do it on special occasions, but you know, you won't be able to experience it. Here in Vegas, it's a little bit different because we have wide open roads over here. So you can definitely feel the power of high horsepower cars over here. You can experience a GT500 over here if you wanted to, because that's how wide the roads are out here in Vegas. But along with that is like the usable power. When you have 300 horsepower in a car that's like, you know, 3,500 pounds, that's like a really good sweet spot of horsepower. I mean, I obviously like having a lot of horsepower, so I still wanted more. But 300 horsepower in a lightweight car like that is very impressive. You can definitely fly past people. You have no problem, you know, merging, doing anything like that. You can have a lot of fun with that horsepower. I had a lot of fun with that horsepower for 2 years. So you can definitely have fun with a stock EcoBoost. For number 4 is that since the EcoBoost is lighter than a GT, it does feel a little bit lighter on its feet. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I don't notice that huge of a difference. I just came out of an EcoBoost and I'm in a GT now. I don't notice that big of a difference as far as like handling is concerned, but I can tell that there's a little difference there. I mean, I can tell that the EcoBoost feels a little bit more playful or easy to maneuver. And then also, if you get the EcoBoost High Performance Package, which does get a little bit expensive, so that kind of takes away from the value. But if you go to an EcoBoost High Performance Package, it's really set up for handling very well. So that would be a very good handling Mustang over like a regular GT like what I have. And then last up for number 5 is that you get all the benefits of being in the Mustang community and having a Mustang, owning a Mustang, without having to spend extra money. So what do I mean by that? What that means is that every single modification that a GT owner does to their car, let's say they do a big brake kit or a spoiler or big chin splitter, something like that, you can do all that stuff on an EcoBoost. You can literally do everything that isn't related to the engine to an EcoBoost. They even use the same exact transmission. They both have the 10R80. Pretty much anything you can do to a GT, you can do to an EcoBoost, like visually wise. And the interior, if you didn't see the RPMs go to 7,500 or 7,400, you wouldn't even be able to tell that I'm in a GT right now, because the interior is exactly the same. And going along with that, the outside, people that know obviously, but a GT doesn't look that much different than an EcoBoost on the outside. It really doesn't. They both look like nice looking Mustangs. So you still get the great looks, everything like that. You still get rear-wheel drive characteristics. You can do donuts, you can do all that fun stuff. And you don't have to spend the extra cost premium that you'd have to spend if you got a GT. And then kind of as a bonus, I want to put a little bonus in there for you guys. On EcoBoost, you can get a nice EcoBoost for less money than you can a base GT like what I have. So for example, let's say you want a EcoBoost Premium or something like that, or you want an EcoBoost Premium with the digital gauges. You can get all of that and a 10-speed for less money than you can get a base model Mustang like what I have with the 10-speed. So if you like having nice features, ambient lighting, heated cooled seats, digital gauges, all those gizmos, you can get it for the same amount or less money with an EcoBoost than a GT. So it all depends on what you want. Is the EcoBoost 300 horsepower enough for you? Is that enough? Are you okay with not having the V8 sound for like more interior goodies, stuff like that? Or you can be like what I did. You can get a more of a base or EcoBoost and save a whole bunch of money. The EcoBoost is an excellent Mustang. I hope that the Mustang community, I mean, it's been out for a long time now. I'm sure people have grown to like accept it and like it, but I hope that the hardcore V8 guys will understand that the EcoBoost is actually a really good vehicle. I recommend anyone who wants to, you know, save some money, or like I said, that list that I went over, if that's important to you, then definitely spring for an EcoBoost, because you can get a nice one. You know, you can get a base model, save a bunch of money. You can do whatever you want with the EcoBoost, and it'll still be, most of the time, it'll be less than a GT. Once you get a high performance package with a bunch of extra stuff on it, then it kind of defeats the value, in my opinion. But the good news is that there's a Mustang for everyone out there. And we have a whole bunch of traffic at the Costco gas station, of course. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.